Hello everyone, today I will talk about the movie Killing Ground. A couple's camping trip turns into a frightening ordeal when they stumble across the scene of a horrific crime.
Got trouble. I'm a hunter.
Samantha and Ian went on a romantic trip together to celebrate the new year away from the city. On the way, they remember that they forgot to buy champagne and decide to stop at the store. In the parking lot, Samantha is startled by a barking dog. The dog's owner apologizes and gives advice. He says that they will not be able to get to their destination and advises them to visit another beautiful place. They arrive at the beach and see another car. A group of tourists have set up camp on the beach, and Ian is a little upset that he and Samantha won't be able to spend time together alone. Ian sets up his tent and goes into the forest to get some firewood. Samantha notices that the owners of the other tent have left somewhere. Meanwhile, Ian finds a Panama hat in the forest, but doesn't think much of it. At this time, two men arrive at the store. Todd looks at the young woman. Todd really liked her, although he seems to like all women. The couple relaxes on the beach all day. In the evening, Samantha decides to go into the forest to relieve herself. Samantha says that there is definitely someone in the forest, but Ian doesn't want to go there and says it was a possum. They notice that the owners of the large tent never returned, but Ian doesn't want to worry about it, so he just suggests they go to bed. Meanwhile, Scotty and Todd are relaxing at the bar. Many people came to this place to celebrate the new year. Todd shows young girls funny photos of his friend. Scotty doesn't like this and asks Todd to go to the bathroom with him. He asks if he has any more such photographs and asks to show them to him. But at that moment, the sheriff comes into the toilet. He greets the men and says that a complaint has been received against them. Their dog scares people with his barking. Scotty promises the officer that he will muzzle the dog. The sheriff leaves and Scotty takes the phone from his friend. He breaks the phone and says that you can't carry photos from the crime scene with you. New Year is coming. Todd approaches a girl he likes and kisses her, but the girl pushes him away. Todd gets really angry about this. Meanwhile, Samantha and Ian wake up in their tent and realize that they did not have time to celebrate the new year. But Ian sets the time back 5 minutes and congratulates his beloved. The couple goes back to bed. Ian wakes up at night and hears a strange sound. He sees a boar that has eaten some of their food. Ian takes the food to the car and notices that the tire is flat. But because it's night outside, he decides to just go to bed. In the morning, Samantha wakes up first and decides to check the neighboring tent. She understands that the owners of the tent never returned. A little later, Ian wakes up and immediately goes to change the tire on his car. Samantha found a small child in the forest. Ian examines the child and says that he is alive. Ian works as a doctor and says that the child is severely dehydrated and has been lying here for several days. The couple takes the boy with them, and Samantha offers to go to the city in someone else's car. At that moment, Todd drives up to them.
Got trouble.
Samantha says that they found the child and want to take him to the hospital. Todd asks if they found the boy's parents. Samantha says the child was alone. Todd suggests looking for them now because they might need help. Ian agrees to help. Todd takes the rifle and says that there are wild boars here. Samantha remains in the car with the child, and the men go in search. A family of 4 comes to relax on the lake. The family spends the whole day together. They tell each other stories and roast marshmallows over the fire. In the morning, Emily asks her parents to take a photo together, but she still knows what awaits them next. They pitched a tent and went hiking. Only the girl remained on the beach. Emily spent several hours in the tent, but she heard a strange sound in the forest and decided to go to the car. Emily got into the car and fell asleep. Soon, Todd and Scotty arrive in the forest. They find Emily and Scotty invites his friend to use the girl. But first, you need to make sure that there are no witnesses. Scotty goes to the beach, and at this time, Todd scares the girl and tries to open the window. Emily is afraid and uses the car horn. Her parents hear the signal, and Rob goes to the car. At this time, his wife takes her son to the tent and also goes to the car. When the woman approaches the car, she sees that her husband and daughter are being held hostage by 2 armed men. She tries to attack one of them, but Todd and Scotty are stronger. They tie up and take tourists to a clearing and commit a terrible crime. After that, Scotty says it's time to finish. He asks Todd to do it, to pull the trigger, but Todd doesn't have the courage. Then Scotty suggests they play. He places the can on the man's head and asks Todd to hit it, but the man shakes with fear and the jar falls from his head. This makes Todd very angry and he shoots him. Scotty then shoots the woman and then the girl. Todd takes Emily's phone with him and they leave. They try to find the child, but he has disappeared somewhere. Ian and Todd find the bodies of tourists. Ian is shocked by what he sees and suggests going to the police, but Todd doesn't listen to him. He notices that the woman is not there. He tells the man that the child's mother may be somewhere nearby and they must find and help her. Meanwhile, Scotty arrives in the forest. He finds out from Samantha what is happening and breaks the car window, but Samantha takes a knife and wounds the man. Ian finds a wounded woman. He tries to help her, but Todd immediately shoots her. Toad says he won't kill him because Ian will first watch Toad do it to Ian's girlfriend. Samantha managed to escape into the forest. Scotty releases his dog and follows, but the dog attacks the wild boar. Todd is distracted and does not notice how his prisoner escaped. Todd begins to chase him. He notices a human silhouette between the trees and shoots, but it was Scotty. He injured his friend. Samantha tries to hide, but the child gets scared by the shot and starts screaming. Todd finds them and leads them with him. At this time, Ian notices a rifle lying on the ground, but he does not have the courage to run out and take it. Scotty fulfills his friend's last request and ends his suffering. Todd is very angry about what happened. He picks up the boy and throws him to the ground with all his might. Ian hears Todd appoint a place for them to meet in the forest. He must come, otherwise Samantha will die. Ian comes to the car and doesn't know what to do. He wants to save Samantha, but he is very afraid. He starts the car and drives away. Todd hears this and doesn't understand why he ran away. He unties the girl and leads her along. Samantha notices that the child is missing. Todd calls her boyfriend a coward, but she says that Ian saved the child. But she still doesn't know that Ian didn't take the child. The boy crawled to the side, and all this time the dog guarded him. Todd tries to catch up with them in the car, but Samantha grabs the steering wheel and they crash into a tree. Ian comes to town and tells the police everything. He goes with the sheriff to the crime scene. The sheriff notices the car and Samantha inside it, but Todd is not there. Todd shoots at the police and then approaches the car and forces the man to step outside. Todd is badly hurt, but he intends to see it through to the end. On the way, Samantha asks if the child is okay, but Ian says that he did not take the child. Samantha realizes that Ian really chickened out and was afraid to follow her. She gets angry and presses the gas pedal. The woman turns the steering wheel sharply, and the car overturns. Samantha gets out of the car and finishes off the criminal. Samantha soon wakes up in the hospital. She doesn't know whether she should go to her boyfriend's room, but in the end she comes to him with sadness and looks into his eyes. And this is where the film ends. Write your opinion about this in the comments. Like the video and click on the bell to be the first to watch new videos.